Listen to Draymond. This do anything for you? So Klay Thompson unfollows the Warriors on Instagram. Klay removes some Warriors-related content from Instagram. And you know who couldn't wait to do an emergency pod? Well, it's none other than Draymond Green.
I know all of you were probably looking forward to me talking about Klay unfollowing the Warriors and deleting some IG posts or something. I had no idea that happened. I think it's hilarious. Just so y'all know, I laughed when I logged on here and Jackson's like, yo, so what about Klay? I'm like, what? Like, what happened? It's like, oh, he unfollowed the Warriors. I think that's comical. I know you all be wanting like somebody's feelings to be hurt or something. It ain't that. Ain't never going to be that. That's hilarious.
Okay. What do you make of that?
I mean, not a lot, I guess. I mean, he thinks it's hilarious, but I mean, does he think it's hilarious because he already knows that Klay is gone? Or is he more of an old school guy who thinks it's hilarious like I think it's hilarious because the whole thing is so stupid?
How do you think it's hilarious?
Because it's so stupid. It's so stupid that that's an actual thing. Like, you're going to have this contract situation, and I'm not going to say it's a negotiation. I don't know what they're doing, but you're in a spot where you're not happy with your employer, and so you're going to unfollow him. And by unfollowing that employer, and we all who are fans of your employer and of you, we get wind of it, and now we all look at it as a thing, as if it's really a thing.
Okay.
And it is a thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's really a thing, to me, is hilarious.
Okay, but devil's advocate for just a second. I'm looking at your Instagram page right now.
Yeah.
Let's get you a bunch of followers at Dan Dibley.
Yep, 1B.
Yep, and you've even got your Facebook page up there, which I find hilarious. But anyway.
I'd had it up there forever.
All right, you got over 4,000 followers.
I'm a big deal.
It's about to go up.
Almost never post.
At Dan Dibley. At MT Willard for those of us who only have like 2,000 followers. Anyway.
You'll get there, little guy.
I know, I'm trying. Hang in there, big guy. There are brighter days ahead.
And you post up a storm.
Well, you know, it was Father's Day. So, are you telling me that you've never removed something from this page because of who was in it or how it looked or the message that it sent? You've never removed anything from this page?
Removed like posts of mine?
Yes.
Things, oh yeah.
You have?
I have, yeah.
Why?
Recently.
Why?
Well.
What was the reasoning behind it?
Because the content was lame.
It was lame? Like what?
I'd have to go back and look. And I actually went back and there were a couple of videos that I had posted for clients that I represented years ago.
Okay.
There was a couple of unboxings. I can't remember the name of the client, but it was one of these deals where you get a jersey for a week or two, and then you send it back and you get a new jersey. So like, not the state, but an actual new player's jersey. So like you get a Klay Thompson Warriors jersey, you wear it for a week, and then you put it back in the bag, free shipping back to the company, and then the next one in your inbox or your account, it comes to you. And so I had a series of these unboxing videos, and I was just going through my IG about a month ago just to see what was on there. And I looked and I'm like, not only do I look fat, a fat red pumpkin.
Fat red pumpkin, yeah.
But also I'm like, these videos are pathetic. I'm wearing sweats that are up around my armpits. Okay. I look terrible.
Do you know what I noticed as I'm scrolling?
I scrubbed it.
I'm scrolling through your IG right now. You know what I notice? I'm nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a message? Are you sending a message?
It's funny you mentioned that
you're
because
on mine. You're on mine bunches of times.
Barely on yours.
Not barely.
It's funny you say that because today I was talking to the boss.
Multiple pictures of you on my Instagram.
The boss to me before you arrived said, "Look! I need a picture of you and Mark." And I said, let me go to Mark's Instagram and see if I can find one. And I went Chris Berman. Back.
Well, I know there's one not that long ago, but my son is in the middle of us, so maybe that didn't.
And I love that one.
Yeah.
And I said to him, there's one of Mark and his kid and me as the zebra.
As the zebra.
And he said, I need one of just the two of you looking at the camera. Looking at the camera.
Okay.
And so the one I found is of you and I from the Warriors Championship Parade. Really good picture.
Oh, yeah, with the shades.
I'm in my zennies,
With the zennies.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look like, what's his name's character from The Big Lebowski?
John Goodman.
Yes.
John Goodman. Yeah, I've gotten that before.
So good.
Anyway, there aren't a lot of pictures of you and I because I don't post a lot.
Well, right.
And I was asked by my lovely wife, Supper.
Well, there are none. It's not that there aren't a lot. There are none on your page.
You and I don't take a lot of pictures. Actually, there is a picture of you and I. The famous pizza picture where you're taunting me with a slice of pizza.
That's on your Instagram, or did you do it as a story? Because I am looking at your Instagram and I do not see any posts with me in them.
I feel violated, first of all, and here it is. If you would just look at this picture right here, you have to swipe. It's
swipe? What do you mean swipe?
April 23rd. Just a little photo update to show the pounds I've lost since March 22nd with abundant life, health, and wellness.
I don't know where you're talking about. I need to swipe. It's not here. It's not here. So you hit it. Is that a message?
If do you see this picture?
Yes. Oh wait. Yes.
No.
Oh, so you hid me in the third picture.
Picture 3.
Yeah, picture 3.
It's about me.
Yeah. It is.
For once.
And that's fine.
I love the young people.
Dibs.
It's him this time.
Dibs.
That was him, yeah.
Message received. I get it. All good.
There are as many pictures of you and I as there are of my wife and I. Does that make you feel better?
Well, no, because hers is actually like you don't have to swipe. I see it with your beautiful Mila right between the two of you. I liked it. I hearted the picture.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're good like that.
It's beautiful. Anyway,
anyhow,
here's my point. Here's my point.
Gotta post more. God.
Well, but I actually have a point here. The point is a lot of us do this. We flick this idea as immature. I even see immature coming up right now on the text line. Wow, this is immature. We flick this idea. Oh my God, you sent a message to the Warriors by unfollowing them? Well, no, you do the same thing. It's not immature. I don't think he's negotiating. I don't think he's trying to get the Warriors to do something. I think he's done. The Warriors are an ex-girlfriend, and he unfollowed them and removed the pictures of them. And if you haven't done that, I'd suggest you do, because your new girl's not going to like that your old girl's on the Instagram. So remove pictures of past relationships.
You got me scrolling now to see if I have any pictures
is
of
your
the
other girl
ex-wife.
still in there?
Well, it was.
I did take that out.
The ex-wife.
I know it's an ex-wife.
We were together for a quarter of a century.
And you've got 2 wonderful boys together,
Yep.
and you still have a good relationship, so fine. Look, you do you, but you
looking right
get
now.
rid of your old stuff. We all do it.
Yeah.
You should
you're
do
right.
it. You're purging.
But I don't do it out of spite.
Well,
look at this one.
I don't. Good Lord, who's that? What is happening?
That was my COVID face.
Good Lord, you had a lot of hair in a lot of places.
Fat.
Anyway,
and bearded. Anyhow,
no, I would argue it's a good thing.
Be careful.
I'm not saying like I never do it out of spite. Sure you do. Sure you do. We've all gone in there and been like, even if it's you didn't like your weight. What was that? That was out of spite.
Self-hatred.
Like, yeah, get that crap out of here. That's not me anymore. So I honestly think that's all that he did. I'm not a Warriors anymore is probably, and I know that's hard for people to hear, but I literally think that's what the thought that's in his mind right now.
So why does Draymond think it's hilarious then?
Now listen to Draymond again and notice how he does this without boxing himself in. When he says, hey, it's hilarious, you notice it's hilarious that all you think he's leaving the Warriors. Oh, no. He just leaves it at it's hilarious. I know all of you want there to be feelings that are hurt, but it's not that. Well, but who are you talking about? Or do you mean that Klay's feelings are not hurt? Or are you saying that you want us to think that maybe your feelings are hurt? Or that the Warriors' feelings are hurt?
Play it again.
Listen to how vague he stays.
I know all of you were probably looking forward to me talking about Klay unfollowing the Warriors and deleting some IG posts or something. I had no idea that happened. I think it's hilarious. Just so y'all know, I laughed when I logged on here and Jackson's like, yo, so what about Klay? I'm like, what? Like, what happened? It's like, oh, he unfollowed the Warriors. I think that's comical. I know you all be wanting like somebody's feelings to be hurt or something. It ain't that. Ain't never going to be that. That's hilarious.
It ain't that. It ain't never going to be that. You notice, but he doesn't follow that up with Klay's never leaving. There's so many implications.
Or I don't care that Klay is leaving.
Right. There's so many implications. He makes you feel like he's saying, oh, that's funny that y'all thought that meant something. He makes you feel like Klay's not upset about this. And I'm sitting there going, how would you know? The last thing we found out about Klay being upset about, he was mad at you for talking about his contract publicly. I don't even know that Klay's not upset that Draymond just did it again. He's talking about Klay's situation on his podcast. But Draymond never boxes himself in there. Never forget that Draymond Green is brilliant. He's brilliant at everything he does, even though he may upset you. He's brilliant at basketball. He's brilliant at handling the media. He's brilliant as a podcaster and brilliant as a broadcaster. He's brilliant because he keeps succeeding. He keeps winning. He keeps making millions of dollars. And the more angry you all get, the more money he makes. He's brilliant, and he just did it again. He made everybody feel like he's saying this is a no big deal. He made you feel like Clay's not mad. Clay's not going anywhere. That's never going to happen. But he didn't actually say that.
Right.
So when Klay leaves, Draymond has nothing to apologize for and nothing to say that he was wrong about.
Right, because he was very vague, other than to say that he found the whole thing hilarious. And he didn't even know about it until he was made aware to the fact that he scrubbed it, and including pictures of Draymond, too, which was taken off of his Instagram. So if he's not bothered by it, why would anyone be bothered by it?
I mean, these guys know the score. It's just like when Kevin Durant leaves. The Warriors can want him to not leave all they want. But when he does, did anybody hold a grudge? Is Steph Curry mad at Kevin Durant? Has he ever said anything like that or ever acted like that? Even Draymond had Kevin Durant on his podcast, and they've tried to make amends. Nobody's going to hold it against Klay if he leaves. It might be an emotional parting. I mean, that would be very weird, I would imagine, for Klay to call Steph, let him know, my dude, I'm out. I bet that'd be tough. Might have already happened.
Exactly. I think it already has happened. And I think that Draymond and Steph, I don't know how often they talk to each other, but I think that they're well aware of the situation, and they probably have all had that conversation already. And the reality that Klay's probably going to leave. Because they're not, I mean, you mentioned it. Draymond is very, very smart. He knows the economics of the sport. He knows where the team is financially, and he knows about what Klay is going to be able to get. And I'm sure they've had conversations about, what a good run it's been together. And for Klay, Draymond's not going to look at Klay and say, hey, Klay, you got to stay. I mean, 2 years, $12 million a year. Come on, bro. You got to stick it out. We got to do this together.
I'm not going to say
when
that,
Klay can go out there and make 30 somewhere else. They all know the situation.
I am going to stop just short of this whole Klay is 100% gone. Honestly, I feel like it's well north of 90%. There is a scenario that leads to Klay staying. I would argue it's a couple things. Either Klay doesn't get the offers that he wants on the open market, but I think he will, or Klay gets cold feet. He's just about to sign a new deal and can't imagine leaving the Warriors. But it also has to happen on the other side. The Warriors need to not be able to get done what they're trying to get done with another big name who might be expensive. So there's that possibility. But all that leads to second, third week of July. I really it's a path. It looks super cloudy to me.
Overgrown.
I don't see it. Yeah. I don't see getting through there. That would shock me at this point. It's possible, I guess.
It would have to be a double Titanic failure. Klay fails to get the kind of offer on the open market that he thinks he's going to get, and the Warriors fail to bring in anybody who they want to bring in. And I think about the Giants' path to Blake Snell. It became more and more clear as time went on that the market was cooling on Snell, and the Giants were kind of waiting there and waiting and waiting and waiting. And you got into March, and it was like, okay, he's going to do it. He's got to go somewhere and pitch. And the Giants were like, hey, Blake, how about you come pitch for us? Okay. All the deals that he thought were going to be out there weren't, and the Giants were sitting there with the kind of deal that worked for both. They got it done. I don't see the same path with Klay Thompson. I think that there is going to be enough interest from other teams and enough of a role that he wants that he's going to find a destination. And if the Warriors are waiting like Farhan did with Snell, I think they're going to wind up and they're not going to have it.
I think all these guys get really good at saying a lot that allows them to say, I wasn't lying.
Right.
I want to stay a Warrior. Well, sure. And the Warriors we want Klay. Sure.
You do.
Does that all match, though? You want Klay at what number? You want Klay on what date? Klay's like, I want to stay a Warrior, but not that badly. So all of them at a certain point, and Draymond, I think that's hilarious. Draymond, you said it was hilarious. You said it wasn't a thing. It wasn't. That I was just saying that I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
It was funny that he did that. Interesting. And you all got but nowhere in there does he say Klay's staying. I just don't, the goals right now do not feel like they match for anybody.
No. I mean, certainly, and you can look at it on both sides. For the Warriors, they need to get better, and bringing Klay back does not make you better. And for Klay Thompson, I think that he wants to be a bigger part of an organization and make more money than what the Warriors are going to allow.
888-957-9570. Spencer Bivens, this unbelievable story and winning pitcher for the Giants yesterday, is going to join us in just about a half hour. So we'll do that in a sec. The Aiyuk thing's still on the table as well, and Javier in Vacaville wants to talk about that. Hey, Javier, what's cooking?
How you doing, Mr. Willie? How you doing, Mr. Dibley? I just want to make sure it's clear. I've called a few times to talk about this, and I'm really passionate about it because I feel like fans have forgotten, including Mr. Dibley, for whatever reason, that, the 49ers will be okay without him to a certain extent. He's expendable. Not having him will still lead to Niners having success. Like, that is so far from the truth in the passing game. He's the last receiver since Terrell Owens to have 1,000-yard receiving seasons and back-to-back seasons consecutively in 20 years. He was top 3 in the NFL in yards per catch, and he's a homegrown talent that is under team control. And for teams to think we can give a pick for him, and the fan base needs an organization to say, yeah, we'll take the draft pick. You're talking about an unproven commodity in a draft pick. Say that has value. Brian Aiyuk is a top 15 receiver in this league, and you could say, well, look, I said his target volume and target share isn't nowhere near compared to the Amon-Ra St. Browns and the Justin Jefferson, and he still put up 1,000+ in both years. And people are saying CeeDee Lamb is better, and his numbers will be better in regards to his contract. CeeDee Lamb's a better receiver at what? Maybe receptions. The best blocking receivers on our football team in the NFL. And let's argue about who's better blocking in the Niners scheme, not just as a wide receiver blocking in the run game, but in the NFL, period.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And although I didn't catch the part where you said otherwise.
Ever.
Yeah, I didn't catch the part where Dibbs said anything about Brandon Aiyuk not being incredibly important to the 49ers.
It was I who said a couple of weeks ago that if they don't have Brandon Aiyuk, that I don't think that they're a Super Bowl team.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
You did say that.
Yeah.
So we're sponsored by